To be blunt, I actually wanted to get out of America for the most part, so...
Welcome to the Melanated Files. In this series, we highlight and share the stories of Black people from across the globe. Remember to subscribe to this channel for weekly videos and also follow us on social media for regular updates. Let's get into the interview. Welcome to another episode of the Melanated Files. My name is Ranzo and I'm your host. Today we have with us Constance and we're getting into her story right now. We are by the river, Hand River, right? That's what it's called?
Yes.
Right in Seoul. You guys see the tree behind us, the bushes. Hey, it's cool. Okay, it's hot outside. So this is the coolest spot we can find. Tell us about yourself.
Oh gosh, it feels like a job interview question. My name is Constance. I'm old.
No, you're not.
I'm in my 30s, I'll say that. I'm a single mom.
Okay.
And I'm from Texas.
Okay. And
Go Longhorns.
Okay. And what do you do in South Korea?
I teach. Yeah, so I teach. I came here to teach adults as well as children. Now I am only focusing on children.
Okay. So what did you do before you came here in the States? Were you a teacher as well?
No, I dabbled in a lot of things. So before I came here, I worked with a nonprofit as well as I worked for the government in some capacity, being a Vista leader. So all my Vista leaders out there, hey!
You have a very unique circumstance, right? One, you said you're vegan.
Yeah.
And two, you're here with your daughter, right? Your
Yes.
teenage daughter as well. So what was the transition like and why did you decide to come to South Korea in the first place?
To be blunt, I actually wanted to get out of America for the most part. So I just felt like there was nothing for me there at the moment. And my dream has always been to travel. So I want to travel abroad. I want to live abroad. And I happened upon this opportunity, so I took it.
Okay.
I took it kicking and screaming though, actually.
Why was that?
I was scared. I mean, I'm traveling with my daughter, you know. If it was just me, I can up and move anywhere. I can do things and then regret it later or, you know, bounce back pretty fast. But with a child, you know, you have to think about it, you know, as well as, you know, the insurance. Schooling, you know, even though I homeschool, I still have to think about schooling, as well as, you know, where, you know, they're going to live. And then, of course, is this place real? I had people in my head talking about sex trafficking and, you know, bombings, you know, like, oh, you'll be close to North Korea or something like that. So a lot of people putting fear in my head, as well as me thinking of what I need to think about as a mom.
So what was a deciding factor to, you know what, to say, you know what, I'm not going to let fear cripple me, I'm going to still make the move?
I didn't have a job offer. I had enough money for the plane ticket and I just got on and said, hey, we can just try it. At least I got a job offer here. So.
Okay. And how old is your daughter?
She just turned 16, so she celebrated her 16th birthday here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what has that experience been like living here with your daughter versus in the States? Any difference?
Well, not really a whole lot of difference because it was pretty much me and her in the United States. But I think maybe like the government support, you know, if I need to fall back on that, if I'm between jobs or not making enough money at that job, then, you know, I had like government support, you know,
back in the States, right?
Yeah, some type of program that I can maybe get food or whatever like that. Yeah. But here, I don't have that, as well as sick days, you know, and you know, days off that personal days off. So I don't really have that here. So if I need to take her to the hospital or the doctors or something like that, it has to be on my own time. I need to find something on the weekends, or that's open late at night, or I'll have to take a pay cut or something like that. So yeah, that's about kind of the only thing, as well as she's not able to find friends as easily back in the States.
Okay. In the States?
Yeah. She's not able to find friends as easily here as in the States.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so far, what is the most appealing thing about South Korea to you? Like, what do you like the most?
Let's see. Transportation. I love the transportation. It's very easy. It's very inexpensive. And of course, I'm so grateful to be able to travel with my daughter. So it's like, I want to see everything, which is why I haven't really saved a lot of money. But, it's like, I want to go here and I want to go there. And it's so small. It's a small place. So it's like, I can go to the beach. I can, go to this other city, or I can join this tour. So there's just so much stuff to do that I want to do it all, and not enough money to do it.
What do you like the least about life here?
I mean, there's a few things, like maybe the ageism. That, although it's very awesome how they are supposedly respect their elders and whatnot, I just don't like how that respect goes to, like, you cannot say anything to the elders if they do something wrong. So I have been in those types of situations where I'm like, no, why did you do that? I don't care how old you are. You don't do that to people. You don't do that to a child, anything like that. So that's something that I still don't like per se. That's the least, but it's okay. But I don't like it. Yeah.
Could you share an experience or an example of something you encountered, if you want to dive in?
Sure, yeah. So the first time that we came here, we went to a gathering.
Ambulance.
Yeah. So we went to a gathering, and there was this old guy, and he hugged my daughter from behind. So she was like, what the heck? And she told me, like, this person doesn't, hugged me. And I'm like, okay, who is it? Being like a mom, who is it? And of course, she showed me, and I was like, and then somebody was like, he's deaf. So I was like, all right, well, we gonna do something. And he tried to hug her again or something, and I stepped in the way at that time, and he left. The next time we came there, I made sure that she was not in his, in his area, his environment, or anything like that. And so we sat down, and then I just went to go get something briefly, and she said he did it again. And I said, okay, we're gonna have to say something. I'm gonna have to say something, So I went and I talked to the people, and I'm like, this person keeps touching my daughter, and she doesn't want to be touched. And of course, a Korean woman is like, well, he didn't mean it, in a bad way, and he's deaf and he doesn't understand anything. I was like, he gonna understand something, because if y'all don't say something to him, I'm gonna say something to him. And she was just trying to excuse it because of his age and his inability to hear. I'm like, I've met deaf people. I've met people who couldn't talk. I've met people who were mentally challenged in some way, and they understood. He's doing it because you guys are allowing this to happen, but if I say something, he gonna know not to do it. So we stopped going there, because I was like, I don't want to get deported at the moment, having to defend my child, but we're just not going to be in that environment at all if they are going to try to excuse that behavior. So yeah.
Ambitions for life in Korea, maybe 3 years out. I'm not sure what your plans are, but where do you see yourself, or what do you want to accomplish while you're here?
My plan was actually just to be here for a year.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm a person who likes to think of plan B, plan C, and all this other stuff. I like to have my ducks lined up in a row before I just pounce, usually.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can act, sporadic, and I could just jump on board and like, yeah, we're just gonna do it. But this time I was like, okay, I'm not finding any jobs in America because I've been applying. And I was just thinking about all the times that I was struggling in America, being a single parent, because although there's government programs or whatever, it's not a lot. And then, of course, you have to jump through hoops to get it. And it's not even worth to do it. So I was like, I just don't want to struggle. I really don't want to struggle. And being here, we didn't really struggle. I could save, I could do things that I want. I could, change my new wardrobe and do my hair. In America, I could, it was like I was lagging behind in some way. So I was thinking of, we're comfortable. I make pretty okay money. And yeah, so I feel like it's a little bit more, as well as I've been networking with people. I do want to start my own business one day. I have been thinking about maybe doing a YouTube channel, but I'm not sure because I'm kind of shy. So yeah, lots of ambitions.
Nice.
So many.
You're on the camera now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So in terms of the state, so compensation is higher here, or is it that expenses are lower as well?
The expenses are lower, not including vegan items.
Okay.
But the expenses are pretty low, as well as they take a huge chunk that you're normally having to pay in America, like rent or mortgage. They pay for it.
Okay.
So that frees up a good amount of money for me to do whatever I want with it, which I'm gonna start saving soon.
Nice, saving is good. So vegan, vegan here. What is that like? Talk us through that, because we know like Korea is big on food, right? But it's usually meat and all other stuff. So vegan, not vegetarian.
Not vegetarian.
Okay,
vegan.
So how has that been?
It's been funny.
Okay.
It's been funny. It's been hard as well. If I go to some places, especially the country, like vegan what? And of course I don't speak Korean at all, very little. So it's like, kogi bajaseyo or kogi opseyo and oyu opseyo. And they're like, okay. And it's mogogi. And I was like, no mogogi. I'm probably saying that wrong. Please correct me. Yeah, so it's it's been a roller coaster because of, big on big on food. Everybody wants to go out to eat.
Yeah.
And when I used to teach adults, they wanted to go out to eat, but they knew that I was vegan. Yeah. So we would go from this place, and they would, they're Korean, so they spoke, and they were like, okay, no, they can't do it. So then we'd go here, and they're like, no, we can't do it. So we were just walking around. They're like, do you like hash browns? I was like, yeah, I like hash browns. So it's been fun and a little frustrating, but the vegan scene is getting much better. They keep having vegan events and vegan, I want to say Comic-Cons, but huge vegan festivals. So the vegan scene has gotten much better. There's a lot of products, but if you're going out, that's kind of hard, unless you're going out in Seoul. Seoul has a good vegan scene, and then Busan has a good vegan scene as well. I haven't gone to any vegan restaurants in Busan as of yet, but I do plan on going to, patron and say like, yes, we're vegan, we're here. Yeah. Please keep the restaurants coming. So yeah.
So what do you eat on a daily basis?
Well, I normally, especially if I'm going to school, I normally kind of eat what they have, but sometimes they kind of forget about us a little bit, and I'm only stuck with rice, or I might just pack like some salsa or chips. But if I go home, if I make stuff at home, I can eat anything. I make pasta and cookies and pancakes and bread. If I had an oven, I would make bread again. But yeah, I can make anything.
It's okay. So
I'm okay as long as I can make it myself.
So on a scale of like 1 to 10, like how good do you think your vegan experience is living here? 1 to 10. In terms of with the state, so compare, so maybe like in the state's accessibility to produce ingredients, etc., might be easier. The price factor, cost factor.
The only thing I would say is it's easier to be a vegan in America for me because I can speak English and I can read English, but here I'm still learning, Hangul. So if I'm not familiar with clams or any other stuff, I understand. I see meat and I see. I'm still trying to learn egg and bulgogi. I know that, and milk, so I know what to look out for. But sometimes it kind of confuses me if I'm alone. So I would say maybe a 5, maybe a 4, because I'm still missing my ice cream. It's kind of hard to find vegan ice cream here, and then once you find it, it's like it's no longer there in the stores. Okay. So that sucks. I'm used to. I thought coming here to Korea, like, oh, they're the parents of soy milk. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna find good soy items and stuff like that, and it really hasn't. I thought I was gonna find like lots of soy milk or soy ice cream. I find soy milk. I find lots of soy milk, but not like soy ice cream and other things that are inexpensive and stuff like that.
How is homeschooling your daughter? Okay, like what's that like? Like back in the States, did she go to the actual school? No,
she hasn't been in a school since 2014.
Okay, so you've been homeschooling her ever since. What's that experience like, especially here in Korea?
Pretty much the same as back in America. It's still hard. The only difference is I really need to find a place where she can take her end of school exams.
Okay.
And so that's kind of hard versus in America where usually those exams can pop up, you can take them almost anywhere.
Okay.
So that's the only difference. She's getting ready to graduate for pretty much, so yeah.
Okay. All right, so for those people, as I said, who are single parents, right? And they want to travel and they are nervous, they're scared, they don't know where to start. What would you say to them from your experience? What advice can you impart to them right now?
If you want to do it. Don't jump in. Don't do that. Don't put your children at risk or anything like that. But start networking. Find social groups. There's so many groups out there for expats, for parents, for Black people, for expats. Period. So start networking, building a relationship with people before you get there. And also, find a school or find a job that could possibly assist you with your children. I don't have, a master's or any other, fanciful stuff. I have a bachelor's. I plan to get a little bit more, another degree or whatnot, to make me a little bit more marketable if I would like to go to another place and teach or whatnot. But I think if you have more degrees, you're a little bit more marketable to wherever you want to go. So network, do your research, and do it. You can do it. Just because you have children does not mean that you stop dreaming and you give up on your dreams, or you wait till your children are older or something like them. Take them along with you.
How was your daughter's experience? What's that like? How was she coming through her experience to you?
Well, usually she's okay with it, but also, of course, she's homeschooled, and then, the language barrier, and we're kind of spread out from a lot of expats, and her age, that's a major factor, because a lot of people come here with, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 8-year-olds, something like that, maybe 10, but she just turned 16, and there's not a lot of teenagers here. So the first year that we came here, I tried to find her a friend, and I didn't necessarily succeed in that, but I did, because when we were in Daejeon, she met a few people. We befriended another expat family. They actually went back to America, so that kind of locked it down a little bit. And so I tried again this year, and luckily we found her at least a few people to talk to, and she's talking to someone, and she's a little bit she's happy a little bit. But of course, when I'm not there, and of course she's homeschooled, she's bored, she's wanting to get out, and I try to get her out, and then she's like, I don't want to, and she just needs someone her age. So that's been my goal for a while, so yeah.
What's the best life advice you've received overall in life?
So of course, I am in my 30s. My baby is 16, so yes, teenage mom. I'm not gonna get that into that deep in there, but at school, a woman who came to talk to us, she told us setback is a setup for a comeback. And I've been thinking about that, throughout my life after that. So I never think of, like, this is the end, I can't do it, but how else can I do this? Being a single parent, being a, teen mom, being a parent, period, you have to think of, plan A, okay, plan A failed. Plan B, okay, plan B failed. You have to, okay, we're all the way to plan Z, we might go to A1, or something like that. So I always think of, how else can I steer this into my favor, or, maybe this wasn't for me, I need to keep going. As well as I've heard, you'll hear a lot of no's, but of course, that yes, that one yes, you have to keep going for that yes. Yeah. And I've gotten a lot of no's, a lot of rejections, a lot of everything, but I can't quit because my daughter, maybe if she wasn't here, I might have quit a little bit earlier, but I want her to see, that she can be strong, that she can, carve out her path in life, that she can be better than me. So yeah, keep going.
Nice, keep going.
Yeah.
Right, until. All right. So tell me, like, what has your experience been like teaching here? Like interacting with the kids, interacting with your coworkers, what has that been like? I
mean, I never thought I would be a good teacher in the first place. I always said, even when I was a child, I was like, oh, I can't be a teacher, them kids bad or something like that, because I grew up in a school where there was some badass kids. And I couldn't fathom, teaching them. I would have choked them, So I thought that I didn't have the temperament or the skills or the talent to do it. And so when I went and got my CELTA and I did my mock teaching and everything, they were like, were you a teacher? I was like, no. They were like, well, you have that, like a teacher, like you have a gift to teach. I was like, really? I was like, okay. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Tell me what other gifts I didn't know I had. But it's been good. It's been good. The only, like me not being able to communicate with them in their native language, it's been a bit hard. Like they might say some bad words. Usually it's the kids, or I can't, I try to find a way to explain certain things to them so they can better understand and not be confused. I enjoyed my adult students, and they taught me a lot. They asked a lot of questions, but I knew this before even coming here because I volunteered as an ESL teacher in San Antonio. Okay. So they asked a lot of questions, so I was kind of prepared for that. They, stuff that's not even on the lesson plan, so then you veer off the lesson plan. And then, of course, they love to talk and everything like that. So I really enjoy them, and I think I made some lasting friends with them. So we still communicate time to time, some former students of mine. But yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy the coworkers. I enjoy the schools usually. You know, I mean, there have been some times where I think it might be Korean culture where they're a little, they take their time to get things done. They're a little bit, you know, a little bit, you know, slower. Yeah, not fast, but like I said, I worked kind of like in the government portion before coming here too. And it took, you know, like higher ups. You have to go to this person has to go to this person has to go to this person. You can't directly go to, you know, a specific person or whatever. So yeah, pretty good.
Okay. What about your black experience? You know, like being a black woman here, like how has that been?
It's been something. I mean, I get stares, like, oh my gosh, those stares, they don't stop staring. So what I normally do, I need to stop. What I normally do, I mean, usually I have my headphones on. And of course, when I'm being stared at, I'm like, yeah, you ain't never seen no one as bad as me. You know, I'm just strutting myself, you know, like I'm on the catwalk or something like that. It's like, I'll stare, go ahead and stare. My daughter, she'll just stare back like, you know, yeah. What are you staring at? You know, so, as well as I had 2 Anjamas touch my butt.
Really?
Yes. I mean, I know a lot of people talk about like getting their hair touched. I haven't had that so far, knock on wood. I hope not, but yeah, it's the butt touch. You know, like, and they come up behind me like I didn't expect it, and they just feel hands on my butt, and I'm like,
wow,
what are you doing? You know, and then, you know, like another, it was usually like at where I lived at too, so they were like my neighbors.
Like grandmothers, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, and you know, they touch my butt, and then I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, you know, they turn to signal their butt, and I was like, I don't know if they're saying my butt's big and their butt's flat. I don't know what's going on, but why would you go up to a stranger and touch their butt?
How do you respond to that?
I was like, what do you? I was kind of like shocked, you know, but again, I've had, you know, that type of, you know, unwanted touch even in America. But of course, at least I could, you know, curse them out and they know what I was saying, or, you know, I can, you know, hit them or something like that, and I won't go to jail or deported or anything like that. But yeah, so it's like, you know, I can just say no or something like that. Maybe I need to say, don't touch my butt, or I can have it on the back side, like, don't touch my butt or something like that. Put that in Korean. Somebody gets no touching. I know it's big. You don't need to touch it to feel that it's real, you know.
Okay, so what do you think is the general attitude towards black people here?
Good and bad. Some clubs, I don't know if it's because we were black or because we were foreigners. But of course, they're like, yeah, no foreigners, only Koreans, or, you know, they would look at us a little differently or something like that. I haven't really had any, you know, really bad racist experience here outside of being, you know, unwanted touch and people gawking at us. But I think it's good because, I mean, even the Korean only clubs, they're bumping black music, and I'm like, if it's Korean only, I better hear some Korean only music. That's what I'm
right.
How are you gonna say Korean only, but you ain't got no Korean music up in there? Only Korean, the Korean music, traditional music at that.
You're allowed, but you're
exactly
music.
You're playing black music, and it's like, what? There's Rick Ross in there. If you don't get out my way, how you gonna deny me? But you got my music in there. You deny what? Really?
Without black people, the music itself would not even exist.
Exactly. So it's a little, you know, like, okay, whatever. Your stuff probably whack anyway. Probably Koreans probably not gonna even be in there anyway. They usually are over there where the foreigners are in the first place. You know, so It's like
have you
a
been turned away from spots that you try to enter?
I have maybe like one or two, but I don't go out very often.
Okay.
But normally I've had great experience. Like they are, I've been welcomed and people give us, like little, vegetables or fruit or something. And then of course my baby, she's so cute. So of course they're like, here,
Kids always get more gifts. Like,
yes.
Attracted to us.
Exactly. Right? I don't want to have no more kids, but I was like, I need to just borrow somebody's kids so they can get more things. Go out there, hustle, baby. Go out there.
Yeah.
We need plums. No.
Same with my daughter too. Like people always try to give us stuff, right?
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's cool. But yeah, very welcoming for the most part. Let's see, the hair thing. It's hard to find, like someone to do your hair. And then the body stuff.
Like sizes?
The sizes, yes. Oh my gosh. It's a little. It's not even a little. It's very hard to find size. I mean, I'm not skinny. I'm not skinny. And then, the bottom part of me, so.
So where do you go? Where do you get stuff from?
Fashion Nova.
Wait, here in Korea?
Yeah. Yeah, it ships here, and their shipping has gotten way better. So it's like less than a week. Go to ASOS. I used to do Ashley Stewart, but their shipping prices are expensive, like $26 versus Fashion Nova's $14. I'm gonna do Fashion Nova. I've also, Forever 21. The store that shall not be named that had the monkey, the boy in the monkey suit. I mean, no. What is that called? Oh, H. It starts with an H. Yeah, and Uniqlo. Yeah, so they have some things that I can fit. But the funny thing is, like, their sizes, like I could get an extra large or maybe an extra large in women's. And I'm like, okay, I can fit it. And I can fit it, but the way it fits is not baggy or it's pretty form-fitting.
Okay.
So my sweats from there were like tights. It was cute. I kept it, but yeah, I had to go find some more sweats at Costco. Costco is another thing. Yeah.
So any advice for Black people looking to come here, like Black women, Black men, who, I don't know, for some reason might have reservations, or they're just like, I don't know. Any advice for them?
Oh, come. We need more family over here. We have I think it's a pretty strong Black expat group here. We always help, we always talk in our groups. We have lots of meetups, so if you don't come to one meetup, you can go to the next one. I've met lots of great people there that I hope to, conduct some business with. You met them, but yeah, it's been great, and just come. It's very fun, great experience. They normally pay for your rent, so you don't have to worry about anything right there. So yeah, come. It's fun.
What's your favorite place in Korea?
Oh,
where do you like to go? That you gotta say, listen, if you do come here, you gotta go to this spot. Where is that for you?
If you do come here, you gotta go to Seoul. Get it. If you're vegan, get the Happy Cow app. Get the Happy Cow app. You can even pay the $3.99 for it to open up, so it's no longer free, but you can still do the free app, and it shows you all the vegan places in Seoul. Hapjeong, Hongdae, Itaewon. There's just so many great places. So like Plant is a pretty big, it's a pretty happening vegan place. They have vegan bakery, as well as, desserts and burgers and pasta and different things. And there's Yummy Yomo, which we're going to go today. And it's lots of burgers as well as lots of baked goods. So I would definitely say go to Seoul and ball out till you fall out. There's so many things to do, you know, here. And so you go to Myeongdong and they have lots of, you know, if you want to do skincare, they have skincare. You know, fish eating your feet. I mean, dead skin cells or something like that.
I'm so creeped up by that. I've seen like.
I'm scared. I've never done it.
It looks terrifying.
And then I also read where it's actually not good for you because you're putting your feet in the same water as somebody else and getting this. And
is
it's
this
bacteria. Yeah. So maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that.
I just realized it's the same water. Well,
never mind. Don't do that. Don't do it. They're using the same fish. But I mean, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff to do. We haven't gone to any of the amusement parks as of yet, but I hope to change that maybe in a month or two. Also go to Jeonju. It's very, very nice there. You can wear a hanbok, but you can also go, you know, come to Seoul and go to the Gyeongbok Palace and wear the hanbok there. I think it's one of their biggest palaces in Korea. So yeah.
Who's one person dead or alive that you like to have dinner with and why? Or a drink? Anyway.
It really depends on what I'm wanting to have a dinner with. I would want to have a dinner with my grandmother. She passed when I was very young, and I would first want to hug her, tell her how much I missed her, and ask, you know, just think about what life would have been like if she were to be alive while I was growing up. But also I would have to ask her, why did she allow a lot of things to happen to her children, and try to heal the problems in our family. So I would ask that. People, you know, if I'm talking about maybe business, Oprah. I always wanted to be Oprah because, you know, I wanted to be a writer. She was a writer, and then she went to what? Chicago? No, not Chicago. I forgot. But I stopped following Oprah a lot. But, you know, I wanted to go to the same university as her, and I was like, wow, she's a talk show, and then she's dark skinned and she's beautiful, and, you know, all this stuff. And I was like, I wanted to even intern at the Oprah, but I mean, I think everybody wants to intern with Oprah, so it's probably not going to be for me. But yeah, I would.
Possible. You never know. Like, you never know.
I'm too old now. I think interns like 18, 22, starting out with life.
I'm saying that you never know, right? It's
True.
funny because someone said to me, which I think it's very important, to never be the person to say no to yourself first.
True.
Allow someone else to say that, but for you, it's always yes.
Yeah. You never know. You're actually right. You're actually right. You never know. She might call me up one day and
you never know.
Constance.
You never know. Like, look, this might be a long shot, but she might even be scrolling through YouTube on one of her breaks. Who knows? And see this video. I said, who's this?
Hey, Oprah. How are you?
Like, these guys are crazy. Yeah, you never know.
I love you. No, stop.
Right? Okay, so Oprah and your grandmother, right?
Oprah and my grandmother, yeah. Probably a few other things too, you know, little Malcolm X in there because, you know, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people.
Okay. What's your fondest childhood memory?
My fondest childhood memory. Oh, there's been a few. I remember, I don't know how old I was. I think maybe I was a toddler. I could have been a toddler maybe. And I think my grandmother, who's no longer with us, she was doing my hair. So I was on her lap and we were on her couch, and I think she was doing my hair, and I think the lamp was on and I was falling asleep, as well as being in her bed. And, you know, I still remember the smell of her because I sometimes smell it around me. That could be her spirit, you know, being close to me or something. But I'm like, what is that? You know, it's bringing back some type of memory. You know, I even know where her, you know, her bed, the bed pattern, you know, her cover, you know, was. So I think that, as well as being with my brothers at my grandmother's house, and we were watching Mighty Mouse on, very young, where we were watching Mighty Mouse on like the pull-out couch. But also, I have so many memories. Also, when my brothers and I and my mom, we were on a pull-out couch, but we were at home and we were watching Tremors. I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen Kevin Bacon, the original? And my uncle, one of my uncles, he came. I didn't know because and he got under the mattress and he started roaring. And I'm like, ah! And I mean, come on, it was Tremors. We were so scared. It was funny. I have so many memories. During the movie,
I would have probably died.
the lights were out, and then my older brother said that he saw him, so he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I didn't see him. Yeah, so it was pretty fun.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I have lots of fun memories.
That's good.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you think Korea does really well that the world can learn from?
Ease of buying things, I think. It's like people can just put something on their cell phone and show it to the cashier and boop, they're out, and it's like their card. You can use your phone to get in the get on the bus, get on the subway. It's very convenient to buy things, but I don't trust it because I'm like, what if you lose your phone? And what if this? And what if that? It's kind of scary to me, but I really like the option to choose to have that convenience. So like you don't have to carry all this stuff on you. You can just carry your phone and pay for anything, pay for a taxi, even pay for food. You can just, it's easy.
Is there something about Korea that you think deserves more media coverage? That maybe it's like an issue, but it's not being featured or covered a lot?
Oh, let's see. Me Too movement is pretty heavy right now, as well as we're bringing a lot of celebrities to, convict them of, harassing or sexually assaulting, raping, whatever. So, I mean, that's pretty good. I think maybe, I don't know about their judicial system fully, but I did hear about a story about this man who viciously raped this 8-year-old girl, and he's supposed to get out in December.
What?
And they only gave him 12 years, but then I think they gave him 11 years because of something or another the judge said. So I think patriarchy is, especially like it's really playing, it's downplaying a lot of things. Like I don't think someone who, if you read what he did to this little girl, and she's still alive, and to read,
and she has to live with that.
And she has to live with that. She has to live with a colostomy bag because of what he did, So, I can't even say anything because U.S., Brock Turner, come on. But I think we have a little bit more of a, we're talking, and we have the opportunity to speak out. And of course, everybody's going to hear, we have kind of like freedom of the press, and even though America may try to want to look good, it's going to get out. We're kind of big and everything, and we are going to say what we're displeased with. And Korean is kind of like that too, but also it's a culture of saving face. So it's like, oh, you don't want to say that, or you don't want to do that, or something or the other, because that person might be embarrassed, or that person might be like, but come on.
So you should be embarrassed.
Exactly. It's easy to sue someone over defamation here. That's why, a lot of things can't be posted, especially if you're here in Korea. You shouldn't say or you shouldn't do, certain things because people can take you to court very easily. And I think, even if it's true, and I think that's very problematic. That poses a huge problem. So, the culture of saving faces, it prevents a lot of things from being reported.
If you could change one thing in the world, what would it be? Anything.
I won't say that. Let's see. What should I would, I mean, everything comes back to that one thing, but I'm not gonna say that. But what the hell? White supremacy. I'll say that. White supremacy. If I would change that. I mean, of course, I know anything's gonna be on top, but I mean, it's corrupted everyone. It's killed and pillaged and raped and steamrolled so many things, and of course, a lot of people are trying to fight to get there, to at least be adjacent or be close to what is viewed as acceptable or civilized. And of course, what's civilized is Western society. Of course, which I even see here. So if I say I'm from America, which I do have American privilege, so if I say I'm from America, a lot of people here, they're excited. Oh, I love Obama. I'm like, I get that all the time. Oh, America, I love Obama. He was a good president. I was like, okay, they love the West, and everyone's trying to clamor to succeed or be in close proximity to that, and as well as it's seen as the norm instead of not the norm. We have different cultures, so I would obliterate that if I could.
Okay. What's the biggest lesson you've learned in life so far?
Oh my gosh, that everything will not turn out as you think it should. It won't turn out the way you envision it. Even if you like, okay, I want to do this. Of course, when we are a certain age, we all want to be a fireman. I want to be a writer. I want to be this. I want to be president. We don't see the obstacles that come along, and we don't see all that we need to do in order to get to our goals. And then of course our goals may change too. So I had this wonderful thing like, oh, at 28 I'm going to be a journalist. I'm not going to have any kids. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to travel. I'm going to always be on the plane. I'm going to just live life. I'm going to have this body, my hair or whatever. And then of course it's not, it's like, oh, I mean, I've always wanted to be Dr. Johnson, and maybe that will still be a goal. I might accomplish that one day, but it's not on the timeline that I wanted it to be. So yeah.
Okay. It's still possible.
It's still possible, yeah.
It's only a problem if we make it an issue.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
It's like something that relates to like energy, and maybe you're too old and yourself, so you're reaping the consequences of that later on.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
age, I think it's just a mindset.
Very true, very true. So it's still possible, but it's not on my timeline.
Yeah.
And
so it might not be on our timeline. So the stuff that we want to do might not happen when we want
exactly. It to happen. It's not going to happen the way you want it to happen. It's not easy either. We don't see, like 7 years old, we don't see like all this stuff that has to happen, or how much it costs. Oh my gosh, expense. So yeah, I keep going, and even though it's not on my timeline, it's still on a timeline if I so choose.
What's the most challenging part about being a single mom?
The lack of resource to provide for your child, I think, but also it's the, especially as a Black single mom, it's the othering that people do, that how they look at you, how they feel that they should tell you what you need to do and shouldn't do in order to not be in this predicament, to ostracizing, and unless I tell them my full story, which I won't tell here, but it's how people look at you and already judge you, and unless they like, oh well, she's doing great by herself, but if I need help or whatever, then oh well, you're just you just take money from my taxes or whatever like that. And I think that's also here, you know, in Korea, the stigmatization of being a single parent, which is, you know, but then of course they have like a birth rate problem, you know, so it's like, you should be happy anybody's getting pregnant, actually, shouldn't you? But yeah, it's, you know, it's the stigmatization and the othering, as well as the lack of resources. Like I said, in America, you got to jump through hoops, you know, to get even a something. And then if you make $1 more, you can't do it. You know, you're not qualified. You know, you make too much, and it's like, okay, I only make $12.01 a month. You know, she eat more than that, and then rent, and then utilities, and everything like that. So, yeah, what people try to tell you that you should do this, you should do that, and then it seems like they want to make parents, you know, being a single mom is like a punishment. You are punished for being pregnant, but we don't want to pay for birth control. We don't want to, you know, we don't want you to get an abortion. We don't want to teach you about safe sex. We don't, you know, punish the rapists. You know, we don't do anything, you know, so, but it's on your fault for getting pregnant. And you have to take care of this child, and we're gonna make you, you know, feel like you're. So yeah, I don't like that. Yeah.
How do you cope with it? How do you combat that?
Cry. But I mean, it's hard to do. I mean, now I can maybe curse somebody out once or twice, or I can just not take it, and I can, you know, I don't want to say let it fall off my back, because I mean, I've been dealing with this for years, you know, my baby's 16. So it's kind of hard to deal with. I mean, I do yoga and I read, and I kind of stay to myself and stay to my daughter. So I try not to be in that predicament. Sometimes I tell my story, but even then I shouldn't have to tell my story in order for you to feel a little bit of empathy and like, oh, well, you're not like those who got pregnant, you know? So it's like, just stop. You know, if we're being this hard on single moms, y'all need to be that hard on single dads. Go track them down and say, you're gonna take care of this child. We're taking all of your money. Or if you feel so keen on, you don't want girls to have birth control, you don't want abortion, then we need to take 60% of your paycheck, since you want to, you know, rule a person's life, and you're gonna take care of this child until they 19, 20, until they graduate college. Maybe even doctorates. I don't know. Since you want to take care of somebody, we want to tell somebody what they should and should not do with their bodies, go ahead and do that. It's just trying to talk, educate, or just mostly yoga, trying to say, you know, yeah, that's about it.
Advice for other single mothers out there?
Live your life. Those people who are saying horrible stuff, even if it's family, don't let them. Don't let them. This is your life, and you can still live your dreams. You can still, you know, be a president. You can still, you know, have a great business. You can still travel. You can still do whatever you want to do. You know, take your babies along. Try to find, self-care is important. Whoever is telling you that you need to only think about your children, you can't take care of your children if you don't take care of yourself first, because you're going to fall, you're going to fail, you're going to get sick, and if you die, who are your children going to fall back on? So definitely take time out to take care of yourself. Go get that manicure, go get that pedicure, go get your hair did, go get an outfit if you want to. As long as your children are taken care of, you take care of yourself, and then you're able to pour more back into your children. You're able to be more loving, you're able to be more open. So try to get away from toxic family if they're not pouring anything in, and if they're showing your children toxic stuff as soon as you're able to, because I know sometimes you have to rely on toxic people, and as long as they ain't hurting your children physically or whatever, sometimes you have to bite the bullet. You know, daycare is expensive. but as soon as you're able to get out, live your life. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Don't let anyone say that you never be nothing. Don't let anyone squash your dreams. You live your life. You got this. I'll be here too. If you ever need somebody to talk to, I'll be there for you.
So where can people find you online?
I actually created a public account because I do have a private account on Instagram, and I show my daughter and I show places where we get vegan stuff. But I actually created a public account for yoga because I'm trying to get more serious with my yoga. I hope to become a yoga teacher one of these days. Not yet. But if you want to follow the yoga experience, it is the Instagram Chanilla Bean the Yogi. So CHINILLABEAN the Yogi. And also, if you want to follow my private my private, but I'll take a while to get back because I don't know y'all like that. But if you're a single mom, usually I'll just shoot me a line and tell me who you are. You can follow me, Nillabean88. So NILLABEAN 88.
Okay, so guys, there you have it. This was Constance, right? And thank you for watching. If you like this, please give it a big thumbs up, and remember to subscribe to this channel for weekly videos on the Black experience across the globe. Until next time, bye for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to share your story or have us visit your region, send us a message on any of our social media platforms or via our website.
That's good.